Hello traders, this is Day Trader Matt with businesswithtrading.com doing an Emini Trading Room recap for the 2nd of April, Wednesday. And today we don't have any trades to show. We did take a trade and we held on to it after the time for the trading room is open, so I'm not even going to count it for stats. It doesn't really seem, it doesn't really seem fair to me, so I'm not going to count it just because it was out of the trading room. We made a little money on it, but it was outside the trading room, so it's really pointless for me to count it. Even though we did make money, maybe I should count it for my own personal reasons. But as far as the trading room goes, and I try to be as fair as possible and as transparent as possible, so I'm not going to count it. It was a trade. We did get a short, and we were able to, we had a nice drop right here, and it was a great time to unload and definitely make money. And while it was good and it was a good trade, there's really no point in me to try to count it statistically, and that's basically what I am doing. So anyway, it was a pretty choppy day though. Market did kind of move around and kind of, then it finally moved up a little bit, and then obviously, it hit some resistance and dropped down a little bit. But it was a very, very interesting day. One of those days when it definitely does pay to be a little prudent, to, wait on what's going on, and sometimes days like that are going to happen. It moves very, very choppy down here. It does move higher, and then it moves very, very choppy again. And then after the basically 12:30 period, we'll say around 12:35, 12:40, it started to fall. Then it found some support, eventually around 134, and started buying up again. So definitely a very, very choppy day. And it's days like this you do kind of want to be aware of. You definitely don't want to try to play breakouts. Like when it's right here, you don't really want to try to, buy it in hopes that it's going to make a new high, just because the market is so ugly anyway. So it's definitely one of those days you do want to be a little prudent on, and it is what it is. Sometimes you you do well yourself, but in the grand scheme of the trading room, it's meant for educational purposes. It's meant to help someone progress as a trader. So really, I know I've heard a lot of stories out there, people posting fake results and stuff like that, and that's just something that I don't do. So anyway, it is what it is. We'll lock in 0 trades for 0 points today, and come back in the markets and fight again. And that's basically what it is. The market every day is a grind, is a fight, and we don't want to get emotional about it. We want to be like a UFC fighter. And you saw, when you see two fighters fight, one fighter usually gets in the head of the other fighter, and they start to show emotions. Emotions gets the best of them, and they get beat. Maybe you don't like UFC, and that's a bad reference. Maybe you do like UFC, and you get it. I don't know, but anyway, that's the best way I can think of to explain it right now. There's many analogies I could use, but this video would be way too long. So anyway, wanted to talk about that a little bit. Hopefully made sense what I said today, and thanks for watching. Have an awesome day, and I'll see you back here in the markets. Thank you.